Hi everyone. I think a lot of people have been asking themselves whether Amazon KDP is still worth it in 2025. So I wanted to make a video in which I talk about the challenges and whether it's worth it or not to do it. Stick around if you want to find out. Okay, I have prepared a few topics. How does the use of AI impact self-publishing, and how are people using it to publish books? Is it still worth it despite the new upcoming competition? Is Amazon KDP still viable? And what are some additional challenges that authors will face in 2025? So let's get into it. So when you look up on YouTube Amazon KDP, there are a number of videos that show up that claim that Amazon KDP is dead, that you cannot make any money with it, or that it's too challenging, there's too much competition. Is that what's really happening with KDP? There is a lot of confusion and a lot of misinformation, and today I'm here to give you the facts as to whether Amazon KDP is still worth it. So if you don't know already, my name is Alexandra and I've been doing self-publishing for a couple of years now, and I've built a successful business with Amazon KDP, publishing countless books. Now, before we address the concerns, let me break down what is really happening and why people are panicking or claiming that it doesn't work. Publishing on Amazon KDP or Kindle Direct Publishing essentially means that you upload a digital format, a PDF, and that PDF becomes available to be purchased as a digital or paperback book. Over the past few years, this model has become increasingly popular and a lot of people have started using it. Also, with the rise of AI, a lot of people are asking themselves whether Amazon KDP is still worth it. So there are two main reasons why Amazon KDP has becoming increasingly popular. So the first one is accessibility and ease of use. Unlike any traditional publishers, Amazon is very democratic in the sense that every single person can decide to write a book and publish it. There are no massive upfront costs and everyone can go from idea to writing it and to publishing it, and the book will be available in a matter of days for anyone in this world to purchase. The second reason is that this business model has really low startup costs. That means that you do not have to store a huge amount of books. You do not have to manage the inventory yourself because that is all managed by Amazon. And so for this reason, there is an extremely low barrier of entry. You only pay for the printing of the books, and there are so many tools available right now that you can use to create the books from scratch. Now let's talk about the struggle of competition in 2025. When you look at Amazon KDP, the first thing that stands out is the number of books being published every single day. And the reason? AI. AI tools have made publishing much easier than before. Any single person can create a book in a matter of hours. You can just ask ChatGPT to write the content for you. You can also try other AI tools like Claude AI, and this really is driving a lot of people who maybe were not even into KDP before to now start publishing these books. People are using AI to create the content, to write descriptions, and also to design the covers. For people who aspire to be authors, this seems like a dream come true, but really it's become a challenge for some of the people who do this as a business, and even for indie authors who want to publish their own books. So here is the problem. These AI written books really lack the quality. A lot of them are not even edited. Some people just pump out these books, use AI, and they do not even edit. So people are flooding the market. This in turn increases competition, and this affects the ad bids, which makes the costs higher for every single self-publisher on Amazon. It's now probably more expensive than ever to publish books on Amazon because of this issue, because it costs a lot to advertise your book since you're competing with so many new books coming up every single day. And this means also a lower profit margin for a lot of authors. And in fact, a lot of people are even losing money on their advertising strategies. So what does this mean for you as a self-publisher? Does it mean that KDP is a lost cause? Absolutely not. But it does definitely mean that the game has changed. You now have to come up with a new strategy for publishing your books, and you cannot simply ignore the competition that's coming up every day and the use of AI. You cannot be one of those people that simply refuse to make use of it but you have to learn to use it in a smart way, not in a way that's going to be detrimental to the quality of the books you are publishing. So first, understand that quantity is not all that matters. Readers by now have become aware of books that are being written for AI, and they are much more skeptical when they look for books to buy. They have become more wary, and when they buy books, they look for quality. They don't want another low quality book that looks like it's been put together in a day, but they do want something unique, thoughtful, and something that makes it worth paying the price for. Second, as I was saying, you have to use AI smartly. Yes, AI is definitely here to stay. We cannot ignore it, but we have to learn to use it in a way that will enhance our work and not in a way that will totally replace it. I personally think that we have to use AI to improve the covers, to improve the descriptions, and even the content, but the core of your book, the idea, what message the book is trying to bring across, has to come from you, because that's the only thing that will set your product apart. And finally, make quality your top priority. Your readers will appreciate the quality. Yes, you might make money fast, could even make a lot of sales, but that's not a sustainable goal. You will not have a sustainable business. Instead, if you provide good quality, your readers will reward you with great reviews, loyalty. They will come back in the future to buy from you again. And that's what we want. So if you invest the time and effort to create a high quality book, your readers will reward you for it. So let's answer the big question. Is Amazon KDP still worth it in 2025? The answer is not a straightforward yes and no, but really it depends on the way you do it. So let's break it down. One of the main reasons why Amazon will still be a successful business model is the global reach. Once you publish your book on Amazon, every single person in this world can buy it. As I was saying earlier, you do not have to take care of inventory. And once your book is live on Amazon, it's accessible to millions of buyers who are there to buy your product. People who go to Amazon, they already have in mind the action that they will take, which is to buy a new product. This is something that, compared to other online businesses or side hustles, is very beneficial, because you do not have to persuade someone to make the decision to buy, but you only have to convince them to buy your product and not the ones of your competitors. And if you compare that to a business like dropshipping, you will immediately see that those take a lot more effort, as you have to take care of inventory and warehouses and all sorts of things that can complicate the business. Another pro is the low barrier to entry. Unlike a business like real estate, the costs that are required to start an Amazon KDP business are really low. You do not have to buy any physical products. All you need is to write the book, have it in a digital format. You can even just publish an ebook. And besides that, Amazon offers a variety of tools that will help you understand whether you did well or not by looking at the way your ads are performing. I would say that the biggest issue of Amazon KDP right now is the way the AI has taken over. And by that, I specifically mean low quality books that have flooded the market. There definitely is a market saturation in some niches, and you really have to be more clear about what your goals are. You cannot just randomly pick a niche, but you really have to understand what is it that you're trying to do. And as I was saying, AI has made it much easier for people to pump out books, and even though their books might not be sustainable or successful in the long term, because as I was saying, if it's low quality, people eventually will realize that, but it still drives up the costs for every single self-publisher on Amazon. And another issue that I myself have experienced, and a number of people that I've talked to, is the fact that Amazon itself can be unreliable at times, which makes you really not want to have to deal with them. So Amazon is known to be unpredictable at times. Sometimes your book can randomly go out of print and you don't know why, or your book suddenly becomes unavailable. And these are all things that will affect your business. And unfortunately, it's not something that you yourself have control of, because it's Amazon who is responsible for it. So then you become dependent on them, and then you always are expecting an answer from them as to why your book is not available, which can consume a lot of time in which you could have made money with those books. Everyone who does self-publishing knows that the Amazon's customer service is not helpful at all. They tend to just bounce your requests to another team, and they also change their policies now and then, which can also affect the way you do things. There is a huge misinformation that I keep seeing in some of the forums, which is that Amazon is cracking down on the use of AI, but Amazon is definitely not cracking down on those books. It's true that Amazon does ask you now, whenever you publish a new book, whether you used AI to generate it, but in my opinion, this is only for research purposes. I think Amazon has a history of always adapting to new technologies, and Amazon probably knows that it would be detrimental to its business to reject AI. So I don't think in the future this will happen. It's definitely not happening now. Is Amazon still worth it in 2025? Yes, but there are some caveats. KDP can still be profitable if you are willing to adapt to the changes and do it in a smart way. You have to put in the effort, and first, you have to use AI wisely. Definitely do not pump out generic AI books. This will not help you in the long term, but make sure you use AI. Make sure you look at the books that are doing really well, and at best look at books that you can notice the book covers, for instance, are done with AI, but maybe they have bad reviews because the content is not good, and in that case you can replicate that even using AI to create your own book covers, but definitely improve the content of the book. You can even use AI to streamline the publishing process. You can definitely use it to create the outline for the book, and there are a lot of aspects that can be in some way automated with AI. My second point would be that you don't rely only on Amazon. I would try and diversify my income stream. I would try and build my audience outside of Amazon KDP by having email lists and reaching out to those loyal customers whenever you have new books that are coming up, and trying to not rely only on Amazon ads, but also have a way of making organic sales. Also, since Amazon KDP is so unreliable, having a mailing list really helps you become more independent in a way. If ever something were to happen to your Amazon KDP account, at least you know you have some people that have bought your books before and that you could reach out to in an instance in which, let's say, your Amazon account gets terminated. And the biggest takeaway from this should be to focus on quality. Look at any books and their reviews, and you would see that people will definitely complain if they are AI generated. People notice this, and you should definitely put more effort into editing those books. So the bottom line is that KDP is definitely not a quick win anymore. I do think that back in the day it was easier to pick a random niche and publish books, and you could make sales with those books. But now the game has changed. It's more complicated than that, and you definitely have to learn how to use AI to your advantage. Next year, Amazon will require effort, it will require creativity, and it will require a willingness to play the long game. If you can handle the unpredictability and the learning curve that it takes for you to get there and to get the knowledge and skills to differentiate your products from the competitors, Amazon will definitely be worth it in 2025, and you can definitely build a sustainable business. I personally have definitely had a lot of success with Amazon KDP, especially more recently. My book was in the top 1,000 all books on Amazon, which was a great achievement for me personally, especially because it was in the Q4, which everyone knows is the period of the year when there are the most amount of sales on Amazon. And I will definitely make a video about my success with that book and how I did it, so make sure you subscribe so that you can see how I did it and my results with it. So thank you so much for listening, and make sure you click subscribe so you can see my upcoming videos. And Mayush is also saying goodbye. Say goodbye, Maya. Make sure you subscribe.